What's up, you guys? Welcome to Raccoon City, California. I am a therapist who games, and today we're going to be talking about whether or not we really need a Resident Evil 1 remake again. But before we do that, if you guys can do me a huge favor to hit that like and subscribe button, because my philosophy is if you enjoy the vibe, why not like and subscribe? Now, let's get into it. Resident Evil 1 is a game that started it all, that really left its stamp in the gaming industry as a staple in the survival horror genre. The original came out in 1996, and it set the stage for a series that has been around ever since. Resident Evil is now working towards their 9th official mainline installment with tons and tons of side games. Now, Resident Evil is a game about a pharmaceutical company that decided to get their hands into the bioweapons line of work. And as a result of their shenanigans, their entire staff were infected with the T virus, causing an outbreak in the mansion. And that outbreak kind of spilled into the Arklay Mountains. Now, the game starts with mysterious murders, people disappearing, families missing, and that leaves the Raccoon City Police STARS unit to go into the mountains and investigate. Now, the Bravo team goes to investigate, and then they lose all contact with the police department, and that sets up the game for the Alpha team to go in and check in on their disappearance. And that starts it all. Basically, you get to the mansion and you are trying to escape this nightmare. So the game comes out on PlayStation, and it really caught the gaming world by storm. Now, I am somebody who didn't really jump into the series until part 2, but of course, in retrospect, you go back and you play. But seeing as that was the original game on PS1, their gaming style with the fixed camera angles, it was all new. And so when part 2 came around, the developers were definitely able to polish, some of the mechanics, and they were able to produce a much better game for part 2, just all around with writing and, storytelling and everything. Now, with the success of part 2 and then part 3, Capcom decided to remake the game again. Or I'm sorry, not again. Remake the game for the first time on the Nintendo GameCube. And that was what many people consider a masterpiece of a remake, because it was truly one of one. They added a little bit of things like Lisa Trevor, but in its full essence, it was a true remake. Now, after that remake, everybody started expecting a remake of 2 and 3 and so on and so forth, and that didn't come for 20 years. But what did happen was that the newer consoles on the PS4 Capcom decided to re-release Resident Evil 1 Remake with HD graphics. And let me tell you, the Resident Evil 1 Remake in the HD graphics, masterpiece. The game looks absolutely beautiful. And so I'm here to ask everyone, do we really need another remake? Because with the HD, with the HD polish, the game definitely holds up today. Now, a lot of people complain about fixed camera angles, and I don't know why. I do not understand why it is so difficult for some people to grasp the concept of tank controls. It's the perfect way to maneuver fixed cameras, because no matter what direction the camera changes to. If you're holding up, you're moving forward. So there's no way to disorient yourself. And if you need to go left, you press left. If you need to go right, I just don't understand. But that leaves me to really ask that question. It's like, if the game looks that gorgeous, why remake it? Usually when you remake a game, it's because the original is unplayable. And I understand that the remake for part 2 and 3 and part 4 was redone in a more modern, over the shoulder camera angle. But again, that doesn't change the fact that the original is still great. Now I understand the video you're looking at is a fan remake, and it really shows us what can be done with Resident Evil 1 if they chose to remake it again. And the only way I'll be on board with it is if they do what you guys saw in the video. Really dive deeper into the lore and into everything that led up to the to the events of part 1. Really flush it out, in that fan remake. And forgive me, I'll add the credit to the people who made it, but in this remake they are kind of telling the story as if it's like, okay, just another day in Raccoon City, and okay, here's these murders, and so on and so forth. And then they get the call, hey, you guys gotta go and see what happened to the Bravo team. And it really sets the stage for the events to come, versus the original is just a quick little explanation. But watching the demo of this fan remake really ties you to everything that's happening, the murders and this and that. And then a day in the life of a Raccoon City police officer, and then they have to go and investigate, and it really creates that fear factor. Instead of, I'm just gonna go and shoot some zombies, it really turns into driving the fear into what this all turns out to be. So I don't know, I'm more hopeful of like a Resident Evil Outbreak remake. I think that, and a Code Veronica remake, I think those remakes are definitely more deserving than a Resident Evil 1 remake, because you can go back and play Resident Evil 1 today with the HD upscaled graphics, and it looks absolutely amazing. So anyway, you guys let me know what you guys think. Are you guys looking forward to a Resident Evil 1 remake? And I would be open to it as if they can get those other games out the way first. Like, there's no immediate need, but I wouldn't be opposed. So, but anyway, I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. Do you guys think we need another Resident Evil 1 remake? Because there's a difference between needs and wants. Sure, we want one, but do we need one? Because the original is still playable. But anyway, you guys let me know what you guys think, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for joining me here in Raccoon City, California. I'm a therapist, do games, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.